Hey, poker people. So we're doing another streaming session today. Streaming the hand reading, of course, and then so this is day 8 of 66 days in a row of hand reading. And the day prior, we did the villains range. Yesterday, we totally hid everything, hid the currency one, hid whether I won the hand at all or lost the hand, and then also hid the whole cards. And by doing that, it made the hand reading of the heroes range so much more interesting, so much more like on the seat, on the edge of my seat. It felt like it was actually in game kind of a situation. I was really happy at the end of yesterday that the range that I put myself on was accurate. I narrowed myself down pretty darn well, and my final hand fell within that range. So let's see if we cannot do that again today. Let's see here. So we have, of course, obviously our Poker Tracker 4. Now, once more, I reset everything so that I can show you once again how to make everything a mystery, you know. So configure report, currency 1. Whole cards and currency 1 all the way at the bottom. You'll see what'll happen. Those will shift all the way to the right. We won't know how much we won or lost, nor the cards. But now you can see the rows are highlighted, these greens and reds. Green and red, they just means that we won or lost. So reporting options right here. Positive rows, let's just make everything white. Negative rows, everything white. And then shebang, we have no idea if we won or lost anything. Awesome. So we could see by the various positions, you know, we won our win rate and stuff, but that doesn't matter because we're looking at individual hands down here. So we've done button, we've done cutoff, we've done EP. I think we skipped the MP at one point there. I'm just trying to hit all the various positions, you know. Yesterday's hand found me with ace king, top pair, top kicker, on an ace high board. And I really should have, let me just double check that the volume's working here on an ace high board. Cool. Okay, so yes, ace king on an ace high board. I got 2 streets of value. I should have bet that river. So let's go through, let's look at river betting situations where I actually did bet the river and we can see if we can range me. I most likely, not most likely, but it's very possible I might have a stronger hand than the top pair, top kicker hand if I'm betting the river this time, you know. So bet and call on this river. Raise, bet, check, bet, call. Bet after checking. Raise, check, bet, bet. Raise, raise, bet, bet. Well, that's interesting. So he fired 2 streets on an ace-high board. No, I'm sorry. I fired 2 streets. Raising. Oh, so he donk-led or something. Yeah, because we couldn't have check raised here. This might be interesting. So 2 raising on the pre-flop and the flop, and then I guess he failed to bet, so we decided to bet instead of raising. So we probably really like our hand here. That's one of the things, even though, you know, I could tell kind of like by my actions by street to street that this looks like it's the kind of hand that I'm going for value. But who knows, maybe I'm bluffing. We shall see. So we raise, oh, wait a second. Before we whip out all that other stuff, let me open up the other software that we use. So it's Flopzilla, and then of course the hand reading templates I use from SplitSuit. I get from splitsuit.com. So we'll pull up that hand again. All right, we are ready to hand read. You can see that I also had my hand, it's deselected, always show hero whole card. So we don't know what we got. We don't even know who our villain is right now. They called. So we're going to be in the under the gun position versus one of the villains. Oh, before we do this, I always forget this. Oops. Hand number 875-00997. I'll get the date for it later. So, UTG open. Don't know what's going to happen, but the flop's going to come. Whatever it comes. Turn comes. River comes. A card. Good. And then now we get to do all this. Oh, by the way, yeah, we're doing range versus range, you know, both ranges today. So we're using the range versus range template. My range on the left, their range on the right. We're going to take a look at the percentage form and combo form. And then also at the same time, take a look at both ranges equity versus each other. And the way we do this is we open up a second Flopzilla window. I should have gotten all this ready ahead of time. I apologize to making you wait. So, Flopzilla window number 2. A lot of windows on the screen, but, you know, try to get through it as best I can. without going back and forth too much. And then we have to also open up Hold EQ. I've discussed this before, but Hold EQ is a free program that you get along with the Flopzilla. And the way it works is this right here. So Hold EQ is how you can do range versus range. When I first started with Flopzilla, I thought, oh wow, that's awesome, range versus hand, but how do I do range versus range stuff? And then I learned about Hold EQ. So you tie this window in right here to whichever one you want. So let's just say our hand is aces and kings. Bam, you put them in there and it pops up here. Then you want to tie, then you want to tag the second window to this one. Good. So now let's give it 10s and 9s. So you can see aces, king versus 10s, 9s. Aces and kings have 81% equity versus 2 under pairs right there. So great. We're all set here. How can I place this so I can always click on it easily? Hold, window. Oh, and there's my table way down there. Well, we'll see. Try to make this as easy as I can, as smooth and flawless as I can. So, opening up under the gun, ACA 157, let's see if he calls. He does. And then Pearl Mincy, are we going 3-way? Nope, just 2-way. Okay, cool beans, heads up. So, we got our 2 opponents right here. First off is me under the gun. So, let's take a look at my under the gun opening range right here. Oh, UTG open, SB calls. What kind of player is he? 30-11, pretty loose passive kind of a player. Folds to steals quite a bit. This isn't a steal position, so I can put him on maybe more of a kind of a tighter range, not super tight. I mean, I'm sure our under the gun opening range is better and stronger than his pre-flop calling range right here. But he's a 30-11, loose passive player. All right. BB folds. Now, I do all this kind of stuff because I like to record it. Occasionally, I'll go back through and find a hand that I just want to kind of review again. Not all the time, but I do it occasionally. Hence, all of this stuff. You don't have to do that, though. One of the great things about using this is you get to see ranges just over and over as you copy and paste them in. You get to see percentage forms and combos as well. So let's start by ranging myself here. I'm a 1917, but I am under the gun. Only 5 players at the table, so I kind of have a slightly wider range. We can give us this right here. Sometimes I'm opening these, so I might as well mark them, actually. Oops. Not the ace-10 off. Let's take those out. This feels like a pretty good opening range to me. So I'm opening about 14% of the time. 14% and 186 combos. Gravy. So now our opponent. Once again, he's a 30-11 player. Folds to steals quite a bit. It's not a steal position, but we can assume he's slightly tighter in the blinds at least. So we definitely want to give him a calling range here. Let's look at a 17%. Whoops. Yep, good. 17% here. He's a 30-11, pretty passive. He's probably calling every ace. Every ace. What's his 3-bet? 0 out of 24 instances. 0? Let's give him these as well for calling. Let's give him jacks for calling again. I'll just give him every Broadway and some suited connectors. Give him a couple suited gappers. Sometimes players like to call those. Every pair, of course, because he's possibly set mining here. Every ace, he's 3-betting a very narrow range right here. Great. So, pre-flop, when we just look at range versus range, we've got currently 58% equity. So things are looking pretty good versus this calling station. I'm sorry, not a calling station. Versus this wider range, and we have position on him. I like it. Ace, Jack, 3, heart, heart, diamond. And one of the good things is once you just ace, Jack, 3, once you enter that on one board, it goes on the next board, and then bam, it comes over here. So we can see now on that ace, Jack, 3 board, our range, our our range doesn't actually perform that well against his. It's still a 50-50 shot, but this range hits him a lot better. And I think the reason why, if we take a look at our two ranges, we've got the stronger pocket pairs, but you know, it's ace high, and he has every ace in his range. That's why equities kind of flip-flopped a little bit. Yep. Typing in on the flop, he's got every ace in his range, so he's a slight favorite at this point right here. All right, good. So ace, jack, 3. Ace, I think it was hearts. Yeah, jack of hearts. And then 3 of diamonds. Great. So on that board, we're 50-50. Let's see what the action is. Oh, interesting. What's he doing? What do? I raise? And then he just calls. Okay, so let's look at his range first. What range here is just min betting? Is he could be trying to get us, he could have a flush draw. He could be trying to get us to commit extra chips when he has an ace with whatever kicker. He doesn't think we have an ace. He's trying to get us to commit extra chips. But he didn't re-raise us, so there's a good chance that he doesn't have like ace jack for 2 pair, and he doesn't have a set of jacks or a set of 3s. I think at this point, because we raise so much, he might just wake up with a little bit of he's a little flop honest. C-bets 0% out of 2, folding 60%, 3 out of 5. Yeah, he's a bit flop honest. So I think his limp means he likes his hand, but we raise so much. Is that a blocking? It could be a blocking bet. So let's look at his range right here. Is he doing this with sets? Kind of don't think he's just calling after we raise with a set. I think he would min re-raise to get value out of us. Let's take sets out of his range. 2 pairs? What are those? Ace, jack, ace 3. Ace, jack, and ace 3. Yeah, you know, they could be stringing us along with that. It's a pretty strong hand, but we do have aces and jacks in our range. Now he has jacks as well. You know, let's keep sets in at least for this, because he might choose to slow play. He's got a full stack. We have a full, you know, practically a full stack, 100 big blinds. We started the hand with, give or take. So let's say he could bet and then slow play, and then maybe bet and then raise if he really likes the turn card. So let's keep those in the range, actually. Middle pairs, bet and calling. Yep, we got to say, we don't know much about the guy. 59 hands. Yeah, I don't know too much. So he's bet calling right here with the middle pairs. Weak pairs. Everything below jacks are third pocket pairs? No, those aren't bet calling. There's no need. Flush draws, donk leading and calling. Yep. Open-ended straight draw. Gut shots. What are those? The king, queen, king, 10? Yeah, those are doing it. At least this one street. He wants to give it a chance. Anybody who min donk leads is really, I don't think they're really thinking through their actions all that much. It's possible they are, and he's got a good plan against me. 2-card backdoor flushes, betting as a blocking bet, and then calling. Possibly. Let's just put it in and see what happens for the next street. So that bet and the call, we weren't able to narrow his range that much. 79% of his pre-flop range. 231 combos. Oh, dag nabbit. Okay. Let's, let me see here. Take those off. 27.1 and 360 combos. I forgot to do this. And on the flop, it was 50-50, our equity was, and the flop was ace of hearts, jack of hearts, 3 of what? Spade, oh, diamonds, okay. This is actually exciting, not knowing what I have, not knowing what he has, just totally blind arranging both of them. I don't even know if I win this hand, you know? It's pretty cool. So ace, jack, 3D. Great. So I think everything's there. It's still 79.4. Okay, yeah. So all of the statistics that I filtered are still there. So he's got 231 hands, 79%. And then there's his full range. The reason I copy and paste the full range is so that at any time I can go back in, highlight this, copy it, paste it in here, and then bam, that range returns, you know, and I could just replay the hand pretty easily and not have to look through my database for it if I don't want to. Let's see here. Yep, so that's his range. So we don't know what our equity is yet because we got to take a look at what hands we're doing this with. So he min bets and we decide to raise. My guess is that this raise, it's a full 8 times. It's a pot size, practically a pot size raise. I'm thinking I'm going for value here. I mean, I've got at a minimum just a top pair hand. I've got 2 pairs. I've got sets. I've got 2 pair sets. Maybe like a gut shot plus a flush draw too. I might do this like with king, queen of hearts kind of thing. It does make sense to do that with such a strong drawing hand. King, queen of hearts would do that here. So sets I'm raising, 2 pair raising, top pair, all the top pairs. At least one street. I mean, he just made that tiny little bet. Maybe he's trying to make a blocking bet with a flush draw, so I'm charging him for his draw. So top pairs are definitely making that raise. Pocket pair below. One street, I often do this. Just because it's an ace high flop, I don't automatically put him on an ace when they bet out on it. So it could totally be a bluff with pocket kings or queens here. Middle pair time. Am I raising middle pairs? Yeah, I'm not letting him pay minimum to see the turn real cheap. No, I'm raising there. Weak pairs now? I could be raising. Not all of these, that's for sure. I can be raising these ones occasionally. So let's keep them in. No made hand. So flush draws. Yep, totally raising the flush draws. Gut shots. Like I said, the king queen suited. Yeah, we'll put those into one street. 2 card backdoor. Nah, I'm not going to raise right there. Probably just call and hope to hit like another diamond if I did have the king 10 of diamonds or something, or an ace 8. Well, no, ace 8. Ace 5, I guess. I could be just calling there. Yep, so I'm thinking I have 71% of my pre-flop range. 108 combos. Not too bad. So I've taken myself down from 186 to 108, taking him down from 360 to 231. Lovely. So at this point, what happened? Good. Okay. So at this point, with our 2 ranges narrowed down, I definitely have a lot more stronger hands in my range than he does, although he does have the sets in his range as well too. But right now, with the way we've ranged it, my equity went up a little bit to 54%, just based on the fact that I made that bet. I have, you know, a lot of those good draws, ditched a lot of the weaker under pairs and stuff, as you saw. I filtered, you know, some of this stuff out here. Yep. So I love this. Looks like I'm just going for max value here, is my guess. Raise pre-flop, raise on the flop. He calls. Now the 7 of clubs comes. What does that do? So before I enter it in, what does that do to our equities? So if we think about it, he has, well, the 7 of clubs doesn't do anything for any kind of draws or anything. I guess he has ace 7 in his range, so he could take a 1 pair aces to ace 7 now. But, I mean, that's not really that much. Our equity's got to be the 7. It doesn't help him, doesn't really help me. So I'm thinking it'll be roughly the same. The equities will stay. We'll have roughly 55% still. No, actually, probably a little bit higher, closer to 58, 59%. 7 of clubs. Oh, 54, huh? Yep. I guess it was roughly the same because that just did not help either of our ranges. And that's why I like to guess. Like, the more I do that kind of stuff, I guess what the card does, how it changes our equities based on our different ranges. Just the more practice, the better. And hopefully this kind of stuff is seeping into my on-the-table play as I do this more often. So 7 of clubs comes. And as you can see, we have 54% equity. What happens here? He checks to us now. So, of course, we raised on the flop. We're representing strength. He checks because maybe he has a weak hand. Maybe he wants to check raise us here. Let's see what happens. 431. Nice size bet. I can almost guarantee 75%. Yep. Almost guarantee I'm going for straight value here. I mean, ace king is possible. Ace king and ace queen is possible. I don't think I'm betting this much with ace 10. I think I'm going more for kind of thinner value, hoping that he has like a weaker ace that's willing to call if I have ace 10 or ace 9 in this instance, which I don't think I have any ace 9s in my range. No, just ace 10. Yeah, so this tells me I've got 2 pair. I even have a set of aces here and going for max value versus this rather passive player. So what should he be thinking of my range? When I make this 3/4 pot bet, What should he think? Yes, I'm doing it with sets. I'm doing it with two pairs. Top pair now. Am I really going to go for two big streets of value with these guys? I really don't think so. Ace 10, I think I'd be betting smaller. Going for thinner value and not risking as much in case he comes over the top and I can fold a top pair weak kicker. But these are pretty good kickers. I'm gonna say that I will be making this bet with those because he has so many all those other aces that that we currently beat with our king or queen kicker. So let's top pair below. I'm probably just checking behind at this point because he called the flop and because he called such a big bet. He has an ace in his range. I'm not going to be double barreling the kings or queens here, so keep those out. Middle pairs new. No, now the flush draws. I do like barreling those. Oh, because the 7 came, for example, here, if we take a look at the 7 came, so the 7-8 just got a pair, picked up a little equity. 9-8 now has a gutter. 10-9 has a gutter as well. And the king-queen still has the royal flush draw. So, yes, I am going to be betting all of these flush draws here. It's only 4 combos, but yes, I'm betting them. No flush draw, no open-ender, no gut shots. Just the straight gut shot? I don't think I'm doing that. I think I'm checking behind, getting a free river, and hoping to hit my gut shot there. So look at that. We narrowed ourselves big time down to 48 hands. 44% of our flop range. 44% and 48 hands. Oh, I'll enter that in a sec. Oh, 54%. 44%, 48 combos on the turn. The turn card gave us a 7 of clubs. And I think our equity went down just a 0.5% or 1% to 54 and 46 on that card, on that 7 of clubs. Good, good, good. So that's what, So that's what I'm saying there. We have a value hand. A couple of bluffs still, but most likely value. And he just calls. What calls us on this 7 of clubs board? His call puts 14 bucks. He's got 18 behind. If he wants to get it in, if he has a set here, 2 pair ace jack possibly would want to raise here as well, but he could just be playing it passively 2 streets because we've been betting so aggressively. He might just allow us to bet and he gets a showdown with his 2 pair hand. So I think he's raising now with his sets because his sets are just the made best possible hand. Jacks or 3s. I do have aces in my range, but what are the chances of that? I think he's raising the sets. We can take those out. 2 pair I think are check calling here. What are they? Ace 3, ace 7, ace jack. Okay. Top pairs. Yeah, this guy's passive. He's calling with all those, just hoping his ace is good. Pocket pair, middle pairs. I think now he can fold those middle pairs. None of them really have any kind of good equity at all. Weak pair. Flush draws. I can say he's calling. If he called 1 street already with it, he could possibly call a second. Especially with $18 or $17 behind to try to win. Open ender, no. Flush draw, yeah, calling. Okay. Great, look at that. We've narrowed him down quite a bit too. 58% of his flop range, 132 hands. All right. Hey, LTU Maximus, thanks for joining. I think you have aces or jacks, ace, king, king, queen, suited, 25% in my reading. I'm kind of agreeing with you. I mean, I do have pocket aces or pocket jacks here because I'm going for max value. I do have an ace, jack, and ace 3 in my range as well still. So those are possible, especially because, I mean, they're just 2 pair, and he has so many just top pair hands or flush draws that are giving us value. So I've got to put those 2 pairs in there as well. I don't have an ace 7, so I can't have turned a 2 pair. And the sets, yeah, I think in 2 pairs and sets is what I've got here. Pretty much, LTU. I agree with you. So the 10 of diamonds comes. So before we enter that in, what is that going to do? 10 of diamonds does complete some draws, but we didn't keep any gut shots in his range. It's not the 10 of hearts, which could fill a flush draw. So really, our equity is going to go up to, on the 10 of diamonds, because we did keep the king, queen in our range. King, queen of hearts, I guess we kept. We're going to go up to like 80% equity on the 10 of diamonds. No, not much at all. 78%. I was 2.5% off. 77.5%. All right. 10 of diamonds gives us 78%. But he only has 22% equity here. So, like I said from the beginning, we took a look at the action on the different streets, and we obviously bet. We raised, bet is the line that we took, and it looks so much like a value range right here. And we could see with our range versus his range, we're a 78% favorite. We're killing it here. We have to bet, unless we were just on a stone cold flush draw bluff this whole time. But I'm betting, and I'm pushing it all in, hoping that he calls. And because we went to showdown, I guess, he had to have called. But what should his perspective be right now? I'm shoving all in here. Am I triple barrel bluffing? I doubt it. Am I shoving a top pair, just a straight top pair? I don't think I'm shoving those. I think I'm shoving 2 pairs, sets, and straights. Like, really, I'm straight up going for max value versus the guy. 100%. Look at, with that range, we kill him. We have 95% equity with that range right there. So before he makes this call, he should really look at our action, raise, bet on all the streets, and he should fold. I guess all that he should call really are like 2 pair hands or better. Really, I don't think he should call any just top pair hands here. Definitely not. Let me see here, 45.8%. So 46 and 22 hands. That's great. So we have effectively narrowed our range to 22 combos. So 186 combos pre-flop. We took away almost 90% of the combos, and we're at 22 right now. Things are looking great. We're just going for straight value. And since it went to showdown, we know that he calls. This is awesome. What is he calling with here? It's not necessary that we range him, but we might as well at least think about it. Because before I make the bet, I want to consider what can he call me with. Because I want to know, if he only has bluffs here and he's just folding everything and not giving me any value, I should have bet like $2, to get some kind of value out of the guy. He's calling his straights for sure, calling his sets. I think he's calling his 2 pairs. What are they? Ace 10 on the river as well. Okay, he's calling his 2 pairs. I think he's got to fold top pair hands here. Although, actually, he might come in with ace queen. I think he's folding all of these. So right now, he has 0 sets. He has 2 pairs. So really, there's not many combos that we're losing to. We've got to make this bet. Just go for max value because such a big portion of his range, 40% of his turn range, is willing to make this call right here. So I guess that means he's folding 60% of the time. Maybe we should bet less to try to get some value. But in this instance, as I was playing, I was probably putting him on a top pair that just could not fold here. Or even a 2 pair, and I flopped my set of aces. Yep, great. So we took him down to just 50 combos. Loving it. These are the hands that will call our river shove. And let's put this note here. These are the hands that I'm shoving. So he should be folding all but the nuts practically. 50 combos, 39%. Alrighty, here comes the moment of truth. He called me, so I think my hand's going to be shown first. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Ace 3 offsuit. I guess it just goes in order. Ace 3 offsuit and... Oh, wrong window. Ace 3 offsuit is... Yeah, it's in his range. It's a 2-pair hand. So he flopped the 2-pair, gave us... Well, I don't know. Maybe I just have an ace high right here that I'm betting. Eek. Ace jack. Woohoo! Good. All right, that fell within the range. Yep. So our 2-pair, our flop 2-pair beat his flop 2-pair. It's kind of one of those coolers that they say. And then we just got max value out of a great situation. LTU earlier said the villain has jack 10 or ace 10 or better and pocket 3s. Yeah, I guess that those are definitely in his range right there. But as you can see, also he has the 2-pair in his range. He possibly had ace 7 in his range as well that called the flop and then hit a 2-pair. So he has quite a few different 2-pairs in his range. And then we just got max value out of the guy. This is so awesome. So for everybody watching, I know when you're hand reading, you often just hand read the villain, and then, you'll play hands like this where it's just hidden the whole time and you don't know. But it's so much better. It truly is. Where's that Poker Tracker 4? It's truly better hiding the details, finding a hand just based on the action, and then going with it from there, because it really is just so much more fun. I highly recommend it. And like you've seen over the past the 8 days of study, when you're hand reading, always hand read in 3 different forms. Hand read just the villain's range, so you're just focused on the villain. Hand read just your range, where you're focused on yourself, and you just assign the villain some random hand. And then, like we did today, hand read both ranges. And that is the best practice. I think all of this stuff is seeping into my subconscious and my conscious decisions while I'm at the tables. And the goal is that this stuff is making me a better player. All right, thank you everybody for watching, and for those who came here from the How to Study Poker Volume 2 book, I really do appreciate it. I hope these videos have helped you out a lot. And LTU Maximus and everybody else watching on YouTube and Twitch, I'm going to keep on keeping on with this, because obviously we are at, day 8 of 66, so we've still got 58 days to go right here. Thank you very much, everybody, and I'll catch you on the flip side.